Yo guys, Crescent here. Today I'll be going through a few small updates on my Pedro Bear build and my Astrum Knight build. We'll start off with a Nightblade. In my build video I mentioned that I'll be using Celine, Vice Cannon and Viper, but nowadays I've changed it up a bit. I've been using another different setup, but I sometimes do still use Vice Cannon as well. So the changes that I made was I took out Vice Cannon and I put in Eternal Hunt, 4 piece on the body, 1 piece on the bow. On the bow you want defending or power trait, and yeah, that's about it actually. So what you get from this set is obviously a dodge throw, and you get a snare behind after you dodge throw on the spot where you dodge throw, which is pretty good to avoid to get away from Zergs, you know. And there's another setup you can do, which is pretty hard to get, but if you got it, it's really awesome as well. You can equip Maelstrom Maul on your 2 hand. You put on a bow, Master's Bow, on your bow bar. So you don't use poison on your bow bar, you just use it on your 2 hand, and you put 5 piece Viper on your body. 5 piece Viper instead of Eternal Hunt. That is the full damage build, because from Master Bow you get 300 weapon damage, and for Maelstrom you get about 190 or so. So you get about 490 weapon damage, which is really crazy damage. So it's a trade-off though. If you want damage, you should go for this setup. You go for 3 edgy rings, you go for Maelstrom weapons and Master Web Bow, then you go for Viper on body. That is the highest 1vx output damage setup, I would say. And as for the poisons, I've been using a few new poisons. I've been using a lot of immobilizing poisons because as you know, Celine tend to miss a lot. It's dodgeable, you can just walk away and you can dodge it, that's all. That's why I use both immobilizing poisons on my bow bar and my 2 hand bar. 2 hand bar I'll usually use stamina increase, and on the bow bar I'll use Magica. So it's just a preference though, but I do have a poison that the dot poison damage poison as well, and yeah, you just have to switch it around though. There are many good poisons. This one is good as well, poison damage and increased cost of stamina abilities. That is pretty good, and the typical cost, Magica cost and stamina cost is obviously really good as well. Alright, so actually that's all for Nightblade. I want to keep this video as short as possible. So yeah, and one last thing, I tend to use a lot of traps nowadays because I'm a crit build. I have 50% crit. As for traps, it's a good dot to snare people. You get double immobilizing from dodge throw from Eternal Hunt as well. That's why it's really good. And the 12% increased damage from rearming traps. That is really awesome, because when you crit, it's going to be so crazy with in-cap especially. That's why I've been using a lot of traps lately. Yeah, so let's get on to my DK then. Okay guys, so as for my Astrum Knight build, the Stamina DK build, before this I've mentioned that it's either Black Rose, the typical good Black Rose, which is really good with Viper and Thermo skill, or the set that I have been using was Knight Errant. I don't have it now, but Knight Errant is a really good set, don't get me wrong, but I found out a new set which can produce more damage. Knight Errant is kind of like a defensive set. It's good in 1vx because you get extra healing when you do any one hand and shield abilities, which is good. But I kind of miss the burst that I get because I've been playing a lot of Nightblades, and the burst that DK have is incomparable to Nightblades. That's why I've been using a new set, which is the Fury set, Warriors Fury set. This set is decent. It's really easy to get. It's dirt cheap. You can just go to the store, get it 1 piece for 500 or 1000 gold. It's so cheap. So the set is the 4 piece is almost the same like every other set. Health, stamina, weapon damage, which is good. The 5 piece is really good when you are using heavy armor. So when you get critical damage, your weapon damage is increased by 29 for 6 seconds, stack up to 25 times, which is about 30 times 25 is 750 or so, maybe a bit less. 725. Okay, so the thing is, this is like a really like a SM set, you know. You want people to hit you because you get a ref passive on from heavy armor as well. So in my stat sheet, yeah, my weapon damage is really low. As you can see, it's just 2.1k because I've been used Serpent set. But it doesn't really matter though. When you're in combat, when you get the moment you get hit by a dot or something else, your weapon damage will increase significantly, really fast. So when you're fully buff up and everything, your weapon damage will be around 4k to 4.2k on your sword and board bar. That's the reason why I use Serpent, because sustain is really important, and even though I'm a raid guard, I feel like I just feel like Serpent is too good, you know, compared to Warrior. So I just decided to go for Serpent, get my stamina recovery up to 900 or so. And yeah, my weapon damage is really high as soon as I get hit by a dot or anything with just a critical damage. As soon as, for example, a Nightblade will just use a poison injection on you, and you know Nightblades, they crit a lot, so the moment that thing hit on you, your weapon damage will just boost up. You can see it really fast. That's why it's so powerful, this set. It's really underappreciated though, this set. But yeah, I feel that this is the best setup at the moment for doing out the damage, because DK, as why a lot of the DK need to use thermal skill, because DK doesn't have the damage to kill people. You need to grind out. The moment you start grinding out people, another guy will come again. From a 1v1 become 1v2, 1v3, 1v4, 1v5. That's the problem with DK. That's why you need to use thermal skill and Viper, although it's really cheesy, I know it. And with Fury set, it's gonna amp up that damage a bit more. And one more important thing that I changed in my playstyle is I use traps on my two-hand bar. So the usual engaging combo I'll use is the poison that I mainly use. I'll just go through the poison really quickly. The first one is Immobilize with Magicka Cause on my two-hand bar. And on my sword and board bar, I'll be using poison damage, double poison damage, and increased stamina ability. So what I do is, because this is immobilizing poison, traps are really hard to hit because it has a really small radius. So what I do is I'm just usually just buff up and everything. I'll just go crit rush. So I'll just go crit rush in, and then I'll just put a trap usually, but my poison didn't proc. So usually what I do is, when the poison proc, I'll just, as soon as the poison proc, I instantly put a trap. It doesn't matter, even though the poison doesn't proc. The slow from Stampede will give you a chance to put down your traps. Yeah, sometimes somebody will just run away, your traps won't do a single thing, but if it's worth a try though, because traps is really awesome. The dot is really strong. So what I do is I Stampede in, I instantly put trap, then after that I'll do a Venomous Claw. What I do is, so usually Stampede, light attack, trap, Venomous Claw, light attack, switch bar, instantly do your ransack. Yeah, typical ransack, light attack, ransack, bash combo, and then when you have ulti, drop it, or if you don't have ulti, switch it your combo to revert bash. That's the way you kill people. And this trap is really good against all those tanky Templar builds or stamina DK as well, or Magicka DK. Those builds that doesn't have a lot of mobility, this trap is really awesome because of the poison that you'll be using, the immobilizing and trapping poison. That's the combo I usually use. Yeah, so all in all, that's the latest build I've been using so far, which is really awesome. I have some clips already saved up, so I'm just gonna post it maybe in a few days time. Yeah, so that's all about the update, guys. Thanks for watching and see you in Serial. Bye bye.